Welcome back, everyone, to Radically Rational Radio. Today we're going to cover a... Welcome back, everyone, to Radically Rational Radio. Today we're going to go over an interview that Biden had over on ABC, and he seems to get a little testy, but let's find out how accurate that is.
If and when you do announce that you're running again, you and the former president are both now under investigation by the Justice Department for the discovery of these classified documents. I know that you believe these two cases are very different, but I do remember something you said after the discovery at Mar-a-Lago. You said, "I thought data that was in there may compromise sources and methods and names of people who help, and it's just totally irresponsible." Can you assure the American people that none of the documents discovered in your garage or at your old office compromised sources or methods or U.S. intelligence?
So, that's a great question. He does his best to explain the previous point and what Biden had said in regards to Trump's situation, and then he merely asks the exact same question, and if he thinks it is true. Let's find out what Biden says.
Been advised by the counsel, let the Justice Department make that decision, to not try to alter the case in any way. There have been very few documents that have been confiscated, found in my possession that were...
So, confiscated versus found? Confiscated means taken, found means, okay, they're there. They found a lot, but they didn't confiscate all of them. And also, he's just refusing to answer the question. It's with the government. You've got to talk to someone else, and good luck getting them to answer.
In my possession, meaning in my home, all the stuff that was moved out of my Senate office over the years. I'm told there were a couple things that were from 1973 or 74. Documents were marked classified. I don't know of anything, and maybe I don't know of anything that is marked like it was, top secret.
So he has 50-year-old documents at his home? How long have they been there? Okay, maybe they're not valuable today, but 30 years ago they were. And 30 years ago, they were only 20 years old for top secret. It's frustrating when people shirk responsibility by trying to claim that whatever they have is not important. And since it's not important, then what I did isn't relevant or important, and it shouldn't be weighed accordingly. Let's see where he keeps going.
Highly, etc. But I'm told not to comment on that because I don't even know what they are able to, what they confiscated.
There are many who will understand why you can't comment, why your lawyers are saying not to comment. They also saw you, though, comment on former President Trump. And so at the very least... Because, look, here's what they were showing. You guys were showing on television things lying on the ground that said top secret, national, code word. And the difference is every single solitary thing I've been asked to do, I've done voluntarily. I've invited the Justice Department to come into every aspect of any place that I had any control of. There was no need for search warrants, no need. Well, what do you need? Just come. Whatever you want. Whatever you want, wherever you want to go, you can go. That was totally different. But that one word you used, when you hear about boxes in your garage or in your old office, you called the Trump discovery irresponsible. Is there something irresponsible here, though, too? You're a good lawyer, but you're trying to make a comparison. There's degrees of irresponsibility they can be significant degrees of responsibility.
Yeah, it is true. There are degrees of responsibility. However, he's merely asking true or false and not levels. If you're talking about degrees, then you're already saying, yes, I did, and I'm not willing to admit it. So let's get distracted by how it is. Everyone's going to kind of answer that how question differently. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, you did. And I would have to verify, but I would assume that he did, he did actually let the Department of Justice go in there freely. And that does speak to an openness could be a complete lack of fear of recourse. I mean, it is a good question why Trump wasn't the current sitting president. We'd have to look in deeper to kind of really understand, but if he openly let him in, we'd have to look at the timeline. Did he openly let him in once he was caught, and now it's easier just to not fight because things will get found and you want to show that you're not trying to hide anything? That's a hard one to say, so let's not speculate, but he did openly not stop them, and I don't necessarily know if Trump would have stopped them if they had asked. They chose to surprise him instead, and I think that's probably why Trump wasn't even given the option to. But I don't know. Didn't vote for him, don't support him, but I think there's a difference between what's being described and what's true.
The way in which the boxes were packed up for my office, apparently not everything was gone through as meticulously as it should have, but there was no intention. I opened up my home, all my homes, the home on the beach and the home my permanent home. And they spent hours and hours going through everything, personal, everything I had. And that's a fundamentally different thing. There's nothing for me to hide.
So, does he have a point there? Is it fundamentally different? It seemed like with Trump, they were specifically trying to find something to attack him with, and that was also the feds, not the Department of Justice. And with the DOJ, it seems more like, yeah, go through it all. There's a bunch. But if they're not looking for anything specific, how could any of them know what was truly valuable information? It's kind of hard to say. And how much effort are they actually putting into it? Do any of these people want to get them in trouble? Want to get Biden in trouble? I mean, if none of them want their president in trouble, and there's a good reason why they wouldn't want their president in trouble, well, they're probably not going to find any smoking guns. It's just, there's no incentive for it. People want to be good people, and they believe verifying that Biden isn't bad is the correct thing to do. So it's all we're really going to find. Thanks for joining me. You can clearly see I don't think Biden got angry. I think he stayed composed. So the post-millennial kind of, titles are titles. Mine will probably be clickbaity too, so I appreciate that and get it. But more than anything, it really was a complete lack of, he wouldn't take responsibility. Absolutely wouldn't. That's really was a question. Like, were you irresponsible in your handling of documents when you had claimed that a previous president was irresponsible? And his unwillingness to admit it, to me, implies one of two things. He knows he was and is refusing to be openly honest with the American public for whatever his intentions are. Saving face would be a fine one. Or he is ignorant and he genuinely believes that and doesn't think otherwise, whether it's true or not. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you think. Please leave a comment in the video. Like it. Subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.